Manning, doing a mock draft here. Let's get started. With the first pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, I got the Jacksonville Jaguars selecting Trevor Lawrence, quarterback, Clemson. Most hyped up quarterback prospect since Andrew Luck. Let's move on. With the second pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, I got the New York Jets selecting Zach Wilson, quarterback, BYU. He's being compared to Patrick Mahomes, second best QB prospect according to like 98% of scouts. So, yeah, Jets, they traded away Sam Darnold. They're for sure taking a quarterback here. With the third pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, I have the San Francisco 49ers selecting Mac Jones, quarterback, Alabama. Now, I'll be the first one to say, I think Mac Jones is going to be a bust. But I think Kyle Shanahan likes him, despite Mac Jones's average pro day, I would say. And the fact that, he has arguably one of the best offensive lines in the country, best receiving core in the country, one of the best defenses in the country. Alabama QBs never really turn out in the NFL because they don't get as much time to throw as they do in Alabama. They don't have such good weapons like they do in Alabama. They in the NFL they're forced to put up more points. All right. Anyways, with the fourth pick, I got the Denver Broncos trading up 5 spots with the Atlanta Falcons, and I have them taking Trey Lance, quarterback, North Dakota State. Same college Carson Wentz went to. I think this guy reminds me somewhat of. I would have to say, geez, it's so weird, but I'd have to say Russell Wilson when he was at Wisconsin. Just a tad. I think Broncos, they have such a terrible history of drafting quarterbacks, but gosh, they need a quarterback. They got all those weapons. KJ Hamler, um, Jerry Jeudy, uh, the guy from SMU, I can't think of his name right now, Cortland Sutton, and another guy in Noah Fant. They need a quarterback. Drew Lock, although I said he was the best quarterback in the class, him and Minshew in 2019, he had such a bad year that I'm thinking they have to take a quarterback here. Anyways, with the fifth pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, I have the Cincinnati Bengals taking Ja'Marr Chase, wide receiver, LSU. He's the best receiver in the class, arguably the best player in the draft. And I know a thing about receivers. 2019, I said Metcalf was the best receiver in the class. He's fighting with A.J. Brown and McLaurin. 2020, here's where I like Chris Sims did. Because if y'all don't remember, Chris Sims said Lamar Jackson was the best QB in the 2018 class when everybody had him ranked 5. I said Justin Jefferson was the best receiver in the class. He not only broke Randy Moss's record, but he should have won Offensive Rookie of the Year. And he outperformed Jerry Jeudy, Henry Ruggs, and CeeDee Lamb. And people said that those three were better than him. And people even said Jalen Reagor was better than him. And Justin Jefferson so far is the best receiver in that class. Anyways, with the sixth pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, I have the Miami Dolphins selecting Rashawn Slater, offensive tackle, Northwestern. This dude completely shut out Chase Young when they played Ohio State. This dude is arguably, not even arguably, in my opinion, the best left tackle in the class. You need to protect Tua, so I think this is the best pick here. You traded it down 3 spots, but okay, I'm not even gonna go through what they did. They originally had the 12th pick, and then, yeah, anyways. With the 7th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, I have the Los Angeles Chargers trading with the Detroit Lions. This would make the second time in 2 years the Chargers trade up in a draft to get in the first round. And I have Los Angeles Chargers selecting Penei Sewell, offensive tackle, Oregon. So I think there's 2 tier 1 tackles in this class, and then Darrisaw is where I would lean towards tier 2. Chargers, Herbert had such an amazing season despite having the 32nd ranked offensive line, so you know what their biggest concern is. I know this draft is so offensive lineman friendly and they could get one in the second round, but Penei Sewell, I mean, just come on, you got to reunite the Oregon boys, Justin Herbert and Penei Sewell. So this might be a ballsy one, but I'm going to stick with it. With the 8th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, I have the Carolina Panthers selecting Kyle Pitts, for tight end Florida. Arguably the best tight end prospect we've seen since, like, Dallas Goedert or something. I'm trying to think, yeah, maybe even Eric Ebron or TJ Hawkinson. But this dude, you can put him at receiver. He's an underrated blocker, in my opinion. This dude is arguably the second best player in this whole draft class behind um, Ja'Marr Chase, in my opinion. And the Panthers, they do not have a good tight end. And their receivers are above average, but they're not a great elite receiving core. And now you got all this time invested in Darnold. Darnold needs his weapons. I think this is a great pick for the Panthers if they're not going to take a quarterback, since they got Bridgewater and Darnold. With the ninth pick, this is the Falcons because they traded with the Broncos. I have the Atlanta Falcons taking Jeremiah Owusu Koramoa, linebacker, Notre Dame. Very small linebacker. I think he's 5'11" or 6 feet. But this is a team on defense who's lost Keanu Neal and Ricardo Allen, and they were 32nd against the pass. So I understand they could go corner here, but Deion Jones, it feels like he's never healthy. And I feel like this guy, he brings the speed factor, he brings the leadership factor. I think this is a good pick if you're Atlanta. Rebuild your defense with a linebacker. I'm a believer in rebuilding defense with a linebacker and a quarterback. Or rebuilding a defense with a linebacker and an offense with a quarterback. With the 10th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys selected Patrick Surtain, cornerback, Alabama. Well, him and the other Alabama corner, I can't remember his name right now, are going to reunite. So they're starting two corners, or I should say two of their three starting corners will be Alabama. Trevon Diggs, that's his name, Stephon Diggs' brother. This dude is, he's not a fast corner, but he's very ball hoggish when he sees it. He sort of reminds me of can't think of his name right now. He was a Brown safety a long time ago. He's just like, he's always around the ball. I know he's a corner, but he sort of could move back to safety, in my opinion. Anyways, with the 11th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, I have the New York Giants selecting Devonta Smith, I don't know why I said that, wide receiver, Alabama. Heisman winner right here. I feel like he fits the Big Apple State, and yeah, I feel like the Giants pair him with Kenny Golladay, because remember, the Giants got Kenny Golladay. Daniel Jones has some weapons. He has Saquon out of the backfield, and then he has Devonta Smith and Kenny Golladay. And Evan Ingram if he improves and gets better hands. Their defense completely shocked me last year. I mean, James Bradberry is a top 3 corner in the NFL. They could go defense here, but I don't think Kenny Golladay and Evan Ingram are enough for Daniel Jones. If you give him also Devonta Smith, plus the Giants get that popularity pick, because let's be real, Devonta Smith's one of the most popular players in this draft class. Arguably the best available too. With the 12th pick, I have the, this would have been the Eagles pick. Yeah, Eagles, sorry. I had to think real quick. I have the New England Patriots trading up 3 spots with the Philadelphia Eagles and taking Justin Fields, quarterback, Ohio State. They re-signed Cam Newton for a reason. I don't think it's because they believe in him, but I think it's because they don't want to start whatever quarterback they're going to draft right away, and they could have him learn under Cam Newton. I don't have all the, what should I say? I don't trust Fields as much as other QB prospects. All I'll say is he's definitely better than Mac Jones. With the 13th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, I have the Detroit Lions selecting Micha Parsons, linebacker, Penn State. Same thing with the Falcons. I think they rebuild their defense with a good linebacker. In my opinion, I don't know which one's better, to be honest. I think they're both good, but this one, I think Micha Parsons is a more safe pick because he's not undersized like Owusu Koramoa. But anyways, and also remember this was a trade with the Chargers. With the 14th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, I have the Minnesota Vikings selecting kwity Paye, edge, Michigan. This is a team now who has lost guys like Linval Joseph and Everson Griffin. Remember they used to be so good at D-line? They had all these players. I mean, Everson Griffin, Linval Joseph, and Danielle Hunter. And they're gone. Not Danielle Hunter, but this is a good pick to somewhat rebuild that. You need defensive help. I mean, Dalvin Cook, Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson, Kirk Cousins. I mean, they could also get a lineman just to protect those fucking people. So who knows? With the 14th pick, I have them taking kwity Paye. With the 15th pick, this is the trade with the Patriots. I have the Philadelphia Eagles selecting Jaylen Waddle, wide receiver, Alabama. This is a team that has passed on DK Metcalf, AJ Brown, and Justin Jefferson. I mean, at some point it has to stop. You have to take the best receiver available. Howie Long, or whoever the GM is again, I can't remember his name. Um, you gotta just listen to like Mike Mayock's best available. You can't you can't just reach on these players now. You took Jalen Reagor and JJ Arcega-Whiteside, Jalen Hurts and Jalen Waddle. Geez, it feels like every pick is a reunion pick. We got Herbert and Sewell, Chase and Burrow, um, now Waddle and Hurts. Jeez, back at the Alabama days. With the 16th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, I have the Arizona Cardinals selected Jaycee Horn, cornerback, South Carolina. It's simple. You lost Patrick Peterson, and you're not taking a running back because you signed James Conner. And this is arguably, according to many, the best corner and the most safest corner prospect in this class. So I have them taking a corner here. Uh, the cornerback from Washington, my guy, I can't think of his name. He hasn't been doing that good. So I think they take a corner here. You lost Pat Pete, safest pick for Arizona. With the 17th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, I have the Las Vegas Raiders selecting Christian Darrisaw, offensive tackle, Virginia Tech. Carr and Jacobs need an offensive line. They've dealt with injuries throughout like the last 2 years. They traded Gabe Jackson to the Seahawks, my Seahawks. They need an offensive lineman. It's about time you take one in the first round, and I have him taking Christian Darrisaw, the third best offensive lineman in this class. With the 18th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, I have the Miami Dolphins selecting Najee Harris, running back, Alabama. My goodness. Miami with Alabama picks now. You talk about just the college reunions here, dude. But anyways, I think Najee Harris is hands down the best running back in this class. I mean, he just reminds me of a Le'Veon Bell, maybe a less patient Le'Veon Bell, but just the way he runs and the way he finds gaps and holes, it's just so Le'Veon Bellish to me. And I think you finally get the Miami Dolphins a running game when you take this guy. Their defense, at least their corners were good. I mean, they should be with Byron Jones, Noah Igbenogany, and obviously Xavier Howard. They could go linebacker or D end here, but I just think Najee Harris, because you have the draft picks to go defense later on in the rounds, I think you take the best running back in the class at pick 18. With the 19th pick, I have the Tennessee Titans trading up 3 spots with the Washington football team, and I have them taking Jaelan Phillips, edge, Miami. Titans going into the playoffs last year had I'm not even joking, historically one of the worst historically ranked defenses. And at this point, both linebackers are going to be gone. So the Titans take one of the best edge rushers in this class, Jaelan Phillips at pick 19. You have to go defense, maybe offensive tackle because you lost that one guy who just didn't want to practice, didn't want to play, and Taylor Lewan's going to be coming off an ACL or Achilles injury. So I think it was ACL. Anyways, with the 20th pick, this was so hard for me. I have the Chicago Bears selecting Elijah Vera-Tucker, offensive lineman, USC. I have no idea what the Bears are doing. They're not in rebuild mode, but yet they're in no man's land. If y'all don't know what no man's land is, it's when you're not good enough to compete for a title, but you're also not bad enough to compete for like a top pick. They're in no man's land. Like their team's not gonna lose, or their team's not gonna win more than 11 games, and they're not going to lose under 8 games. Under 7, I should say. Like, they got a decent defense despite losing Kyle Fuller. I have no idea what the Bears are doing. Like, bruh. You know what? So I'll just say they add a great guard prospect. So Montgomery has a little more room for air, and Andy Dalton has more throwing time. That's what I'm going to say. With the 21st pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, I have the Indianapolis Colts selecting Greg Newsome, the second cornerback, Northwestern. Now, if y'all don't know, the Colts were second against the rush, and that's the run last year, and that's a big reason they had one of the top defenses. They were not good against the pass, though. So I think by adding Greg Newsome, who went over Caleb Farley because of combine, I think he already improves your passing defense day one. Anyways, with the 22nd pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, I have the Washington football team selecting Trevon Moehrig, safety, TCU. Best safety in this class. Him and Jeff Gladney at TCU were a great duo. So I just think this is a value pick. You take the best player at that position that you could use, and yeah, I have the football team taking him. I also could see the football team trading up like a huge spot, like I'm talking 10 spots to take a quarterback. However, I mean, I think they might have learned their lesson when they did that RG3 thing. Even though he had a good rookie year and thanks to injuries, his career's been backup consistent. Anyways, with the 23rd pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, I have the Green Bay Packers trading with the New York Jets to take Kadarius Toney, wide receiver, Florida. You need someone other than Adams. Can you imagine if they traded up and took Justin Jefferson instead of the one freaking quarterback from that one school that I can't even think of his name. But they took him because they wanted it to be like the Rodgers Favre situation, and you could have had Justin Jefferson. If the Packers have Justin Jefferson in the NFC Championship, Bucks lose. It goes the same if the refs called it fair. Bucks lose that game. God. Anyways, you finally make Aaron Rodgers happy. You improve the offense. That's not at backup QB. You improve it by not drafting a backup QB. Anyways, with the 24th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, I have the Pittsburgh Steelers selecting Javonte Williams, running back, UNC. I just think you lost James Conner, you've lost Le'Veon Bell. You haven't had an elite run game, really, in my opinion, since maybe James Conner's first year after Le'Veon Bell's departure, or not departure, but I should say holdout. But you really have not had an elite running game since prime Le'Veon Bell was there in Pittsburgh. Plus, Ben Roethlisberger is getting older. I think this is a great pick here. It's going to be a situation like Denver when they just completely gave C.J. Anderson the bulk of the plays. So I think this is a great pick here. In my opinion, the second best running back in this class. So yeah, and plus Najee Harris won't be there. So yeah. With the 25th pick, now this is, in my opinion, the best steal of the class. I have the Jacksonville Jaguars selecting Azeez Ojulari, edge, Georgia. I was watching this guy in the Peach Bowl, one of the best defensive end prospects in this class. Best edge rusher. You heard it here first. Defensive Rookie of the Year. I'm sticking to it. With the 26th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, I have the Cleveland Browns selecting Terrence Marshall, wide receiver, LSU. I mean, I know they didn't play in the same year, but college reunions, OBJ, Grant Delpit, Greedy Williams, Jarvis Landry, and plus the Browns could use a third receiver if all these trade rumors about Odell ever actually happen. I mean, a third receiver cannot help you, or cannot, yeah, help you. Cannot help Baker Mayfield, I should say. Anyways. With the 27th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, I have the Baltimore Ravens selecting Rashad Bateman, wide receiver, Minnesota. I think he reminds me of Michael Thomas with the way he runs his slants. Same number, same speed. He's a faster Michael Thomas, I will say that. A less or a more versatile, easier to tackle Michael Thomas, I should say. And plus, for the Ravens, I mean, Marquise Brown, Sammy Watkins, and Miles Boykin is not enough to compete for and win a ring. You need another great receiver, and Rashad Bateman is that choice. With the 28th pick, I have the New Orleans Saints trading out of the first round with the Philadelphia Eagles and I have them selecting Zaven Collins, the linebacker, Tulsa. Over the last 2 years, the Eagles have made a splash in free agency on the defensive side of the ball by taking Darius Slay, Anthony Harris, but they've also lost Malcolm Jenkins. I think this is a good pick to rebuild your defense somewhat. Him and Bolton are competing really for the third linebacker prospect in this draft. I think Saints, on the other hand, they want like Kyle Trask or something, and you could get him in like mid-second round. So I think that's why the Saints are doing this. And I know this is bold, but Eagles go and take a linebacker. With the 29th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, I have the New York Jets selecting Rondale Moore, wide receiver, Purdue. Now here, Zach Wilson's gonna need his targets. I'm telling you because what's his name? Brashad Perryman went to the Lions. You lost Robbie Anderson 2 years ago. The Jets do not have good receivers. Rondale Moore will fix that somewhat. It might take him. He's not a guy, in my opinion, who could step in right away and produce, but he's good for the longevity of the team. He's a nice speedster. However, the Jets, they have draft picks. I'll say that. However, I just think at this pick you might as well take a receiver because Zach Wilson does not have good receiving targets day one. With the 30th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, I have the Buffalo Bills selecting Travis Etienne, running back, Clemson. It's simple. The Bills had 1 week all year last year with a 100-yard rusher, and that was versus the Broncos. And let me tell you, it was all stat padding, and it was all luck because of one play at the end. You take that game out, Bills didn't have a single 100-yard rusher that whole year. I mean, both. This would be the first time in a while the Bills took a first rounder. Don't mark my words for this, but the first time since they took Marshawn Lynch. I could be wrong though. Anyways, so yeah, Travis Etienne, I have on them taking him. Good passing back, good all-around back in my opinion. Maybe not the best for blocking, but still a good pick here for the Bills. Take him at pick 30. With the 31st pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, I have the Kansas City Chiefs selecting Alex Leatherwood, left tackle, Alabama. It's simple. You lost Mitchell Schwartz. You lost Eric Fisher. Even though I hear they're trying to bring Eric Fisher back. You need a left tackle. Mahomes was running for his life in that Super Bowl. You need a left tackle. You need even a right tackle. I mean, just draft Alex Leatherwood, re-sign Mitchell Schwartz. That Patrick Mahomes contract is already showing. I'll just say that. With the 32nd pick, the final pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, I have the Super Bowl champs, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, selecting Caleb Farley, cornerback, Virginia Tech. This team was #1 against the run in 2021, but they were terrible in the regular season against the pass. Jamel Dean started off so good, and Vernon Hargreaves did great in the playoffs. However, a third corner never is not always helps. Just look at the Denver Broncos. I feel like I'm comparing to that Super Bowl team all the time. They had Bradley Roby, Chris Harris Jr., and Aqib Talib. So having a third corner always helps. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. I'll reply to every comment below, and peace out.